Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be doing another Media of the Moment video. Media of the Moment, if you are not aware, is a series that I started on my channel where I basically talk about all the media I'm consuming, everything I'm reading, watching, listening to, all that kind of stuff. And over the past month, I've kind of been like all over the place. So we're going to be bouncing around to a lot of different topics today. But as always, we're going to start out with books, which, like it has been for the past few months, is pretty scant. To be perfectly honest, I can't remember when I made the last Media of the Moment video, but I basically haven't really been reading very much since mid-May. I did a 30-day reading challenge in May, which I keep forgetting to edit and post, but essentially, like mid-month, I finished Battle Royale and I really loved it, and after that I couldn't figure out what I wanted to read and I kept bouncing around to lots of different books and not being able to settle on one, and eventually I just kind of gave up, and now here we are. I feel like a broken record, but I do definitely want to pick up a book sometime in the near future because there are a couple that are kind of intriguing me, but at the same time I have like 20 billion creative ideas that I want to pursue, and the summer is so short and my mind is just so full of things I want to do that reading is kind of getting pushed to the back burner. And I will talk about some of those like ideas that I have like at the end of the video, since they're not technically like media I'm consuming, but they're like stuff that I'm doing. I don't know. I want to talk about it at the end. One of those books that's really intriguing me right now is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This is one that's really intrigued me for quite a while. I have it around here somewhere, but I honestly don't know where it is right now. Another book that's really intriguing me is 1Q84. It's just, I'm very curious about it, but at the same time, like I've said many times, it's a giant book, and given that reading isn't necessarily my priority right now, it's not necessarily something I want to pick up because it is so huge, so I don't know. But one book that I am really super excited about that I can't read yet, unfortunately, is that I purchased a copy of And Then There Were None in Korean, and I'm so excited about this. I mentioned in another video that I've started to try to learn Korean, and obviously I'm still a beginner and I definitely am not at a level where I can read this, but I did want to go ahead and get it so that I can like start going through it and start trying to recognize words as I just like kind of scan through the pages. And I think that this is possibly the best book for me to use to kind of work on my reading skills, because I am so familiar with this book that even if I don't know what the words are, I can kind of deduce stuff. And of course, Harry Potter is great for this as well, but Harry Potter has so many made-up words that I could unintentionally confuse myself by like not knowing what word they've used to mean muggle in Korean or something like that. So this one is very straightforward text, and so I'm really excited to eventually get into this, but it's gonna take a while before I can actually read it. So moving into music next, because that's gonna make a really great segue into TV shows. Essentially, I have been listening to a lot of K-pop. I've talked kind of endlessly about my absolute favorite TV show ever, which is The Genius. I'm wearing this shirt today, but it's a Korean reality show, and I'll leave a link up in the cards to the video that I made talking about how perfect it is. But Kim Sung-yu from the K-pop group Infinite was on the first season of The Genius as a contestant, and I absolutely loved him. Not to spoil how the season went, but he was a really, really entertaining character, and I fell in love with him as a player. And so I got really curious to see like his stuff outside of The Genius, and I fell in love with that as well. I'm still in the process of getting all of Infinite's music because some of it is very difficult to get my hands on, but I am trying to accumulate all of it because I really, really enjoy their music. And I usually am not a huge pop person unless I can really respect them as a musician, and oh boy do I respect these guys. The guys are really great singers. They sing live pretty much all the time, and they have really awesome choreo that they're really good at. And I'm sure that there are K-pop groups where people will be like, oh, their singing's better, oh, their dancing's better, but I'm not really familiar with any other K-pop groups. I just know that these guys are really impressive. And I've been listening to a ton of their music on repeat. My personal favorite right now is their 2015 single Bad. For some reason, that's the one that has really hooked me in. It's so good. I've also gotten obsessed with the song Cheer Up by the girl group Twice, and that's the only non-Infinite K-pop song that I've really listened to, but that's mostly because they did a girl group dance to it, which was really funny. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Infinite and then Cheer Up as well. And then this segues into what I've been watching, which is a lot of stuff about Infinite. I absolutely love their music, but I think I love them as people even more because watching them on their variety show appearances and seeing the TV shows that have been like full seasons starring them, they're just such a precious group of people and I absolutely love them. I love the dynamic between the members and I think that they're all really adorable and really funny and they just have so many hilarious moments in all their different TV shows, and I've been watching tons of clips on YouTube, tons of their performances, tons of like full episodes of full seasons of their shows, all of these different things. I've just watched a ton of Infinite stuff. And then of course, per usual, I've been watching a good chunk of The Genius. It was my birthday on the 10th, and my best friend came to visit and she was down to watch some of The Genius with me, and so we watched like half a season of The Genius in one day. It was great. However, in the past week or so, the thing that I've been watching a little bit more than my Korean stuff is Big Brother stuff. I've been getting into Big Brother mode and I'm so excited for the new season. It's kind of hilarious how little I think about Big Brother when it's in its off season and how excited I get for Big Brother once it starts to come around again in the summer. This is going to transition us a little bit into the podcast I've been listening to as well, because I've mentioned in the past that I love RHAP has a podcast which covers a lot of reality TV stuff, but specifically Survivor and Big Brother, and I've been going back and re-listening to a lot of their Big Brother podcasts, rewatching some of their live streams where they ranked stuff related to Big Brother, just re-watching and re-listening to all of their Big Brother coverage. Well, not all. That would take like probably a full year because they have so many podcasts every single year about Big Brother. But I have been going back and re-watching and listening to a lot of different ones that I really liked and getting myself back in the Big Brother mood. They also went back and did a season 2 retrospective on Big Brother, which I had never seen before because I'm a fairly recent fan. I started watching 2 years ago, and Big Brother 2 is one of the seasons that I haven't gone back and watched yet. So I've been going back and watching season 2 and listening to their coverage on it as well. Plus, like I said, just listening to all of their stuff where they rank the winners of Big Brother and rank the seasons of Big Brother, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've been going back and watching a lot of Big Brother stuff and a lot of Big Brother related stuff with RHAP Has a Podcast. And per usual, when I listen to stuff on RHAP Has a Podcast, I always end up finding new podcasts that I hadn't heard about, whether it's an old episode of RHAP Has a Podcast that I never heard of, or like entirely other podcasts that they mention on there. And I found some really, really cool things as well. For example, one of the guys who was on RHAP Has a Podcast for quite a while, named Jordan Parhar, who was also a BB Can contestant, he, back in December, guested on an episode of a podcast called The Weird Sisters Podcast. And it was super interesting because it's a podcast about Harry Potter, which y'all know is my favorite thing on the planet. And they were using Harry Potter characters to cast a Big Brother season. Like, they used the Big Brother casting stereotypes to create a Big Brother season with solely Harry Potter characters, which I think is so cool, and I'm actually using that like criteria as the basis of a blog post. So I'm gonna kind of create my own season of Big Brother with Harry Potter characters. So I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but very soon, because I think that's like the coolest idea ever. So far, that's the only episode of the podcast that I've listened to, but they seem to be doing something similar to what I have been wanting to do on Speciality Belly, where I go through every single chapter of the series and like analyze it and talk about it. So they're like on book 3 or 4 at this point, I think. So that's really interesting. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to their other podcasts, but they also have stuff where they have sorted people from The Office into their Hogwarts houses, which is super cool. So yeah, I think I found a new podcast obsession, so you'll probably be hearing about that sometime in the near future, but that one is super intriguing and I'm very excited to see what else they have going on. So that's all I can think of for like the media that I've been consuming, but like I said, I have about 20 million creative ideas going around in my head, and I'm having trouble deciding what to work on, so I'll just throw some of them at you, and I guess I'm not really asking for input because eventually I'm just gonna do what I end up wanting to do, but I think talking about it will help me, so here you go. First up is that I have been working on Speciality Belly again, which I'm super excited about. I've been getting back into a Harry Potter mood, and I've really been wanting to work on it. I did put it as a like quarterly goal to work on it, which will be linked up in the cards, But yeah, I'm finally working on it again. Just to give you some context, I don't think I've explained what the blog is in this video, but I basically go chapter by chapter analyzing the Harry Potter series, talking about different aspects of it, talking about like what the movies left out, stuff like that. I started working on it back in September, and then I kind of just got into a bunch of other things and kind of left it by the wayside. So now I'm getting back to working on it. I think I want to finish the first book by the end of the summer. That is my like pseudo goal for myself. I've also been getting back into a writing mood. I really want to work on my writing, not necessarily because I feel like I need to like make progress, but more just because I kind of feel like I haven't written in a while, and I feel like my creative juices are flowing and I want to put that into a story. And I know I'm obviously like writing on my blog and stuff like that, but it's not quite the same thing for me. And I think this is where I'm most torn, because I really only want to work on one story at a time. But because I have this NaNoWriMo novel that I worked on for a very long time over the past like 6 months or so, and I also have my Harry Potter fanfic that I'm really in the mood to write because I'm in a Harry Potter mood, they're clashing, and I'm having a hard time choosing one. Because on the one hand, I am in such a mood to work on the Harry Potter fanfic. Like, I am in the mood to not really be too serious about what I'm writing, and I also just think it's really silly and really fun. I do have like 12 chapters up on my blog, which if I do work on the fanfic, will go away, because I just reread them last night, and while melodramatic in a really funny way, they're so badly written and I want to go back and like rework everything. So if I do end up rewriting the fanfic and hopefully finally finishing it this time, those chapters that are already up will go away and they'll be replaced with much better versions. So yeah, that's scenario one. I kind of love it because I love not feeling too restricted by what I feel like I have to write and having to write well, but I also, on the other hand, kind of want to work on Flirting with Fame as well. Because basically since October, I've been really entrenched in writing Flirting with Fame, and I haven't really touched any of my other story ideas. So I kind of feel obligated to keep working on that, and I kind of do want to keep working on it because it's a story that I really enjoy, and I love a lot of the characters, and I love working in this world, but at the same time, I'm also in a very Harry Potter mood, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna lean toward the fanfic right now just because it's more fun, but I don't know. And then I'm also working on some blog type stuff. I am doing a lot of like the 30-day Tumblr challenges again. Like, I haven't done those in forever, and I'm doing a couple of them now, and so that's kind of fun. I am also doing some Genius related rankings on my blog, which is always enjoyable, but I've kind of hit a bit of a standstill because I need to rewatch some episodes before I keep doing that. But I also want to do some other like major rankings on my blog, or possibly on my YouTube channel, maybe like ranking the queens from Drag Race, or ranking my favorite songs from a certain artist, or stuff like that. I don't know. I have so many ideas going on, and I want to work on all of them, but I can't. I'm bad at self-control. I'm bad about like sticking to one thing for a really long time. Like, I don't think horoscopes are a real thing, but I'm very Gemini in this sense because I am great at starting things and horrible at finishing things. That's another thing that I want to do is I have been like over the past like 6 months or so, whenever I think of a particularly like interesting fun fact about myself, I write it down, and I've been trying to get up to like 25 so I can make like a 25 random fun facts about me video, and I think I'm at like 20 right now. So maybe sometime soon I'll do that. I kind of want to do that because it's just kind of a silly, fun video to let y'all get to know me a little bit better. So yeah, basically the theme of this video is that I'm all over the place. I have 20 billion different things I want to do, and I can't settle on anything because I'm indecisive, and I'm bad at completing what I've started. I think that's about it for this video. I can't think of anything else I really wanted to talk about, but of course I will probably think of the other things I wanted to talk about like after I turn off the camera and am editing or something, so yay, that's always what happens. Yeah, I've been sitting here for a little while trying to figure out if there was anything else I wanted to talk about, and I can't think of anything, so I think we're done here. Hopefully I'm finally able to make a decision and stick with something and actually finish something, whether it's my fanfiction or my Speciality Belly blog or just something. I want to finally commit to something because I've been all over the place. As always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!